Alright, hello everyone. This is Crota rounding out your Memorial Day triple cast here with a Protoss versus Terran. It is going to be ST's Ace versus NHS's Sting here on Metropolis. So far, all of these games in the series have been really interesting, really entertaining to watch as the games do get underway. We have Ace spawning as the red Zerg player here at the 9 o'clock position. Meanwhile, NSH's Sting spawning as the blue Terran. So Terran versus Protoss here on Metropolis. And I wish I could read Korean. I cannot. And I'll just leave it at that. Now, so far, taking a look at the strategies coming in from these players, nothing too out of the ordinary yet. It looks like both of them are going to be playing relatively safe, as there's really not that many options early on. Oh, it looks like they wanted to pause, please. I'm like, wait a second, why do they need a pause? Oh yeah, I'm watching a replay. So taking a look at the game so far, probes just continuing to mine back and forth. Same things over here, SCVs mining back and forth. Not much to really talk about. Now, I do like these days where I can cast 3 high-level games of 3 different matchups, because it keeps the game a little bit fresh right now. Right, so far, I'm just looking forward to what we will be seeing from MLG Anaheim. For those of you guys who don't know, I will be there at the event. Unfortunately, I will not be casting. I was not selected as a caster for either the WCS or for the actual main event. Shout out to Gwen, who was one of my MSI co-casters, MSI Battlegrounds co-casters, and also I'm pretty sure that Day 9 will be casting at MLG Anaheim as well. Gateway now warping in as well for Ace. Pretty standard build. We should be seeing that Cybernetics core, and the key tell will be whether or not Ace goes for an early Zealot. The early Zealot does allow for some early pressure and some early scouting, but it delays that Cybernetics core. Nope, gonna go for that Cybernetics core instead. Both sides with relatively small armies, as we now see the probe wandering around on the inside here, getting in and being able to see that the refinery was placed down at a reasonable time. That means most likely a Marine will, means most likely we should see a factory come out. The Marine now trying to catch up to this probe. The probe, oh, getting in a little bit of a head start. Is he going to be able to make it out? That is the question. Oh, down to 16. Is he going to be able to? Nope. The supply depot closing and a new Marine coming out. And the Marine's like, hey, I got 1 kill. How about you, bud? The Marine's like, you know what? I did all the work. You get the shot off. Whatever, man. Kill steal. SCV now wandering around here, taking a look around. You can see that a Stalker is coming into play. It is going to be chrono boosted out. And this is the dangerous part for Terran. Terran pretty much cannot afford to lose SCVs. Oh, is the probe. Oh, is the did the SCV scout out that Nexus? No, it didn't. So I believe Sting is going to be coming back around to take a look and see if a Nexus has been placed down. He's perhaps 90% sure that it was placed down there, as we now see a probe and yes, a Stalker making their way over. We are going into a reactor on the barracks here. We can see that there is a factory here and now a starport here. So very interesting building placement by Sting. I'm not exactly sure why you would want to do this. It's not like a scanner sweep could come down from Protoss, but perhaps he wants to be able to make sure that if an observer does come in, he doesn't scout all 3 tech buildings or all 3 add-ons at once. But the only problem is that Sting is not going to be able to do add-on swaps all too easily. Alright, SCV now wandering around here. Can take a look down through that probe mineral line. Going ahead and take a look and see that the Nexus has been warped in as well, and knows that this is now going to become an economic game. So far, Sting has not placed down a command center, and it looks like it's going to be a Marine Hellion cover fire drop from Sting. Now this drop is not something I normally see or would recommend from a Protoss or against a Protoss player, but it does punish a very, very greedy Protoss. The problem right now is that Ace, with that warp gate tech, will be able to reinforce with 6 to 12 supply worth of units in just a matter of seconds. So even though this attack is relatively fast, it is not going to be fast enough. Medevac going to run into some Stalkers right off over here. That is not good, knowing that it cannot do anything there. A large group of Marines on the front door, 9 Marines making their way over. There is 1 Stalker down here. The Stalker could easily just charge up the base right now. and deal a lot of damage, as we now see, oh, the Hellions getting in some damage onto some probes. Where are those Hellions going? How many probes were taken down? Not 100% sure. Only 3 were taken down, as the Marines are now coming over, and oh, cleaning up all the probes at the natural. That was huge. Hit you or feint with a left and hit you with a right, as Sting comes in with 8 Marines, and those 8 Marines getting 7 probe kills inside the natural expansion, and that was absolutely huge. That is exactly what Sting needed to make this game go longer, as that economic advantage would just continue to grow and grow. Alright, barracks now being added, double command center being placed down, also adding on a starport onto adding on a tech lab onto the starport, which was a little bit of a curious move. Now we're going to be going into that standard Terran bio play with a reactor on the factory. Marines are coming back over. Oh, one poor stalker. Is it going to be able to escape? Nope. Oh, yep, it will be able to. 42, the Marines unable to get off the shot off there. 16 Marines saying, you know what? We did our job. We are just taking down more and more units, as we now see another 1 probe was taken down by the Hellion at the natural expansion. Alright, so medevacs are still being trained. It looks as though, yes, we are going to be adding on some tech labs onto these barracks. Concussive shell and stim being added very, very early. 1 observer shooed away by Marines. The Marines could detect a little bit of that flicker, as Sting very, very on top of everything on the map, as the Marines are now making their way down. Are they going to, yes, take down that stalker? And only have a little bit of damage on that Marine to show for it. Orbital command has finished, but this 1 observer, did it spot that additional command center? Yes, it has. So that is going to at least tell Ace that he needs to set up a nexus down over here at that 8 o'clock position, and this game is just going to turn into a very, very heavy macro game. Sting's currently setting up 1 engineering bay, getting up more production buildings. I don't see a 2nd engineering bay as of yet, and that's a bit of a surprise, as a lot of Terran players have been going that double engineering bay route in order to get better upgrades. One of the reasons why upgrades are so good for bio units in general is because upgrades are better the faster that you can macro up those units. And because Terran Marines and Terran Marauders are essentially so easy to make, especially with mule support, you can see more barracks now being placed down. Those upgrades scale very, very quickly. Now we are going into the Templar archives, so Psystorm is going to be a definite issue, especially without Ghost. Marines and Marauders still sticking around. A little surprised that we don't have Combat Shield, even though we do have Concussive Shell. Combat Shield would be the natural research at this point. Not sure what Sting is thinking, perhaps thinking that he's already completed it, and he may become in a world of hurt as soon as he just walks into a Psystorm after a stimming. A Marine is down to 35 hit points after a stim, and Psystorm dealing enough damage. If those Marines are caught unaware, going to be in a lot of trouble. Ghost Academy is coming in. We should see that Mobius reactor, or is it Mobius reactor? I'll have to double check that for you. Is the Mobius? Yeah, well, you know what I mean. Yeah, I think it is the Mobius reactor, in order to get 25 additional starting energy on a Ghost. So we are getting more and more barracks into play. Combat Shield now being researched finally. So it looks as though Ace is not going to be able to punish anytime soon, as the Marines are now going to come in here, take down a probe. Is it going to take down a pylon? Yes, 1 pylon will go down, force a cancellation on the Nexus. And now the Marines are going to be backing away. There is already 1 proxy pylon here by Ace. There is also a Zealot ready to go, ready to slice and dice its way through, as we are now going into an armory and now that 2nd engineering base. So it was a research to level 1 weapons upgrade first, before getting to level, and before going double engineering bay to start level 2. Double refinery is also coming in. This 1 Zealot, is it on hold position? Yes, it is. Otherwise, it would simply charge in, take down that SCV. Looks like it is going to be doing exactly that, taking down the Marine instead. And now, what is this? 1 scouting SCV, able to do a mad rad dash. Is it going to be able to catch up? Oh, trying to run away, the Stalker. Apparently, the SCV is like, you know what? I can't get anywhere. Let me just go ahead and stop so you can shoot me in the back. Sting sitting at 129. Ace sitting at 114. Warp Prism, High Templar, Psystorm, all that now being added as well. Where is that Ghost Academy? Ghost Academy is off over here, and it is indeed the Mobius reactors. So additional 25 starting energy for for a very, very quick EMP shockwave, or perhaps some double sniping action as well. Marines making their way over. That one observer not really much going to be able to do anything. There's a lot of Marines and Marauders here. And with 2-1 upgrades coming in, this Bioforce is going to be very difficult to stop. Now, I know Terran, or I know Protoss players have sometimes have a difficult time against Terran Bio, and I really think Protoss players can easily, or if they can switch and have both High Templars and Colossus, that would be much better for them, since it forces a Terran player to train both Vikings and Ghost. Now, you get those High Templars out earlier so that each High Templar can have 2 to 3 or 2 Psystorms, and then also get off a feedback on those Medivacs, and then you can merge them into Archons. Archons are also very, very effective at dealing with that Bioforce, but the problem is most Protoss players don't go for that shield upgrades, meaning that the Marines at full upgrades are actually dealing 50% more damage to those shields. A quick scanner sweep revealing an observer. It gets taken down as NHS's Sting going to be doing a drop here in the mineral line. There is going to be a photon cannon though, and we are now going into that robotic space. So we are going to see that large 200 supply army battling it out as Stalkers, Zealots, and Sentries are simply pulling away. Marauders, Marines, and there is a handful of Ghosts in this group as well. The Ghosts do not have personal cloaking. I don't even believe they have the Mobius reactor. No, they don't. Just trained up the old-fashioned way, and here we go, a drop into the base. The Marines taking a lot of damage, but the Marines, oh, what is happening here? Dropping all those units, and now here come the Zealots. I actually didn't know you can actually drop Marines and heal at the same time. That was really, really effective play, as all those units are now backing away. There is one observer here, but the main attacking force here has pretty much a wide open entrance, trying to come in. Oh, a Psystorm does hit, as the High Templars find that easy target. Zealots, Sentries now making their way back in, and Sting decides to not yet engage, but his timing of opportunity to attack has pretty much closed. 2-2 upgrades are now finishing for Ace against 2-1 upgrades against 2-1 upgrades of Sting. Oh, double snipe coming in here. Are we going to see perhaps more double snipes? Oh, yes, beautiful play so far. There's one feedback and another double snipe. So 3 High Templars for the cost of 1 Ghost. Very effective trading, as we are now going to perhaps see an engagement here. Oh, beautiful Psystorm, though. The Marauders and the Marines taking way too much damage. Zealots now trying to charge in another beautiful Psystorm, catching off a lot of those units here. And now what is going to be happening next? There is an Archon trying to be merged. We could get another High Templar. Oh, that Psystorm actually hitting most of the Zealots instead. That was a bad Psystorm if I ever saw one, as that Archon is now attempting to pull back. Unable to pull back, though. We can see a lot of Marauders and the Marines. The problem here is that there's not many Medivacs, and there is a very low group of Terran Bio. That Terran Bio not going to be able to do much of anything. And do those High Templars have enough energy for another Psystorm? The Marauders and the Marines still trying to engage. There is another Psystorm coming in. That is a lot of red Terran Bio. Is it going to be enough? Sentries are going to get taken down, though. And here we go. Oh! Beautiful last final Psystorm there. Beautiful attempt by Ace, and that last Psystorm really prevented Sting from taking the game. I believe that Terran Bio unit, with the small amount of medevac support, if they were not taken down all at once, would have been simply just too much to handle. And Ace somehow able to warp in 8 High Templar at a time, and now deciding to merge in Archons instead of even leaving them as High Templars. Those Archons, we'll see level 3, level 2 weapons upgrade. We are going into Colossi with extended thermal lance as well. We are coming in for a counterattack. Stalkers are warping in, and now they will be doing a quick retreat as Sting with his reinforcements decides to not engage right now. It is 148 versus 167. Harvester count 65 to 67. Things are even. 3-3 upgrades coming in from both sides. Marauders and the Marines going, Marauders and the Marines along with Ghost now trying to regroup on the center here. Ace does have a new Nexus up, has taken down these destructible rocks. We see Zealots and High Templars all over the map. Just in case he does see some crazy drop play, he wants to be able to clean it up and clean it up quickly. A little bit of probes oversaturation here at the main, but that will be quickly resolved in just a moment, as now the Marauders and the Marines are now making their way here. Beautiful Psystorm from the high ground, but not really dealing that much damage. Archon now emerging, so there are 5 Archons here. Those Archons very good at destroying and rolling over Terran bio, but the Marines at 3-2 upgrades are going to be able to simply deplete these shields so quickly. 9 damage per shot. Their attack speed is almost like 2 per second. I think it's like 1.8 when stimmed. So that is 18 or perhaps 16 damage a second against those Archons. And yeah, that is just 16 damage a second against those Archons. And when you factor in how low in supply those units are, that just opens up for a completely different battle. That's why you need to get those shield upgrades. Zealots now trying to clean up the rest of these SCVs here. You can see also Zealots cleaning up the SCVs in the third base. So these worker kills are really going to start to take their toll. 21 worker kills, 22 worker kills, trying to get more and more, and it is forcing Sting to actually retreat and move back. And by moving back, he's actually going to be in a little bit of a defensive posture, as he doesn't have nearly as much map control as he would normally want to have. Vikings still wandering around here. There was one Stalker up on the high ground getting in and doing a little bit more harassment. Marauders and the Marines are coming back over. We'll finish this off here very easily. Take that down. And what is happening next? All right, more warp gates coming in. Both of these sides don't want to engage. They want to be very careful. There are High Templars in the front. Where is that warp prism? Warp prism is off over here. It could warp in units very easily. A Stalker coming back over. Oh, Marauder going to finish off that Stalker very easily. And now SCVs coming over and just getting slaughtered. So it feels like Sting at this point wants to free up some supply for a much larger bio force, and he has it. You can see 9150 versus 5625, both of them very large armies and almost maximum supply. But Sting has the larger army since he has less workers. Sting is putting everything pretty much into this next attack. If he's able to do true damage into the production with his superior army, he will be fine. But Ace does have Archons, he does have High Templars, and if he can get the necessary splash damage on this really tightly packed group of bio units, that is all he's really going to need. There we go. There is some Psystorm, and there it goes, that merge into an Archon. Where are these units going to go next? Not 100% sure, as Zealots are now running in, and this is going to be a bit of an issue. The Zealots cannot do anymore, and now the Terran or the Protoss Death Ball coming in. Where are these units going? Where are the Zealots? No, the Zealots going to try to run in instead, and the Zealots could be able to just make a run inside the main base, freeing up all the supply on those Zealots. Zealots are not cost-effective units. Ace purposely trading these Zealots for new units, and they are going to be High Templar. Taking down very easy to take down buildings. Tech labs look like they could get destroyed any second here. That reactor may get taken down as well. Zealots, oh, the Ghost Academy now down to 20 some odd hit points. SCVs are repairing the Zealots, trying to slice and dice away, but simply too much. More Marines coming back out. And what is happening here? New Zealots putting in pressure, and now the Zealot and the Protoss force doing all of this harassment in multiple location, and Sting, I don't believe, can afford to really lose that many workers. He traded workers early. Sting has a massive army sitting at about 15,000 resources now, but he has no follow-up. Sting needs to win in this next engagement or he is going to lose. High Templars now making their way into the base. Where are these units all going to go? There's not many workers. These missile turrets, oh, this could be bad. What is going to happen? Ace needs to drop the High Templar, and he only drops one. Oh, Ace perhaps kicking himself right there. Not an Ace move at all. As we're now going to see Colossi Archons now try to push in. Scanner sweeps revealing up onto the high ground. This one High Templar going to have a bad day. Yes, a very bad day. Vikings now going after the units. Sting with a massive attack force. Will Ace be able to hold on? That Psystorm not really getting that much damage, and the Archons now trying to push in as well. Ace just losing his entire attacking force. And now with so many Vikings in the air, any Colossus that comes out will pretty much be instantaneously at least almost one-shotted, as the Ghosts are still making their way in and sniping down High Templars. Marauders and the Marines are pushing in. Here is that massive push that I was talking about, and I believe Sting freeing up supply in order to build up a larger army is going to pay off, as I don't believe that Ace has enough resource to really trade in here. You can see that this Nexus is going to fall. Terran Bio at 3-3, so effective. Ace didn't have any true follow-up to this strategy at all, and I believe the GG should be coming in, taking down all of the main production buildings. You can take a look at the losses now. Losses are absolutely huge. Psystorm taking down all of the Terran Bio in the center here, but Ace not going to have much of a follow-up. And now what is the next strategy going to be? The army of Sting still much larger. Terran Bio, Archons, Vikings now coming in the ground mode. Ace now doing a great job trying to fend off, and this actually might be enough, as more and more units are going to get taken down. The income is hurting on both of the sides right now, and the key question is going to be who can reinforce faster. Ace still has... what is going on? Ace still has a much smaller army, but he is merging in some High Templars and warping in some High Templars, getting in some Archons, as we are going to see some probes now try to hide. Those probes are going to be able to add to some DPS, as the Zealots and the Psystorm catching some Marauders out of position, but quickly focusing that down, as Sting still with a slight supply disadvantage, but with an army advantage. Probes now trying to run away. What is happening off over here? Still very good, good amount of harvesting happening here at the 6 o'clock location. Not much happening here. Does Sting even know about this expansion? No, he doesn't, as one Zealot is going to town, getting already 12 kills. Harvester count is now 7 to 41, as the Marines and the Marauders are just dancing around back and forth. What can be warped in? High Templars can be warped in. The Cybernetics Corps has been taken down, so it is going to be all Zealots. So it is going to be an Archon Zealot army, but Ace with a very large Archon army may have enough. The problem is going to be that the lack of shields, the lack of shield upgrades, meaning that those Marines are going to be able to deal a lot of damage, but this is going to be a combination of Marines and the Marauders, and those Marauders are not nearly as effective. There are still a lot of mules mining away over here. Zealots are taking down all of the key buildings. This is turning into a base race. Most of the times, base race does benefit Terran, as they can lift off their buildings if it really comes down to it. More and more Zealots being added. This is a Zealot Archon army. Sentries now finally being added here. The Medivacs making their way in. No Psystorm that I can see, and I think Psystorm would have been huge. You can see the damage is being dealt. Archon's now going to come in for a pincer attack, and oh, Sting is in trouble. Sting has nowhere to run, trying to run away on those Medivacs. Are they going to be able to get up onto the high ground? Stalkers now warping in as well. The Stalkers do have blink, and are they going to be able to blink after some of those Medivacs? Yes, one Medivac does get taken down. Only a couple Marauders and Marines left. Archons do have a faster movement speed, but unable to catch up to that Medivac. Oh, one shot left. That was huge. That's pretty much all Sting has left in terms of his army in the attacking position. And now Marauders, and what is going on? Sting unable to finish off his opponent, as now proxy pylons are going to get taken down here, and now being lifted off once more. That Medivac pilot holding, oh, I was going to say holding that one Medivac together with sheer willpower, but apparently a Stalker's particle disruptor stronger than the willpower of a Medivac pilot, as the Archons are now simply just going to be charging in here. Archons so effective against all of these units. Zealots are going to be able to charge up here, and Ace with a massive Archon army should be able to finish off the game in an impressive fashion. There's the GG, a brilliant come around for StarTale's Ace, taking down NHS's Sting. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and I really do hope it's StarTale's Ace. Otherwise, I don't know all these clan names as well as I thought. Thanks for watching, thanks for listening.